Our next speaker will be Judith Weisman. So Judith Weisman is a Toronto psychotherapist, a member of Independent Jewish Voices, and a founding member of Not in Our Name, Jews for a Just Peace, and the Jewish Women's Committee to End the Occupation of Palestine. Judith.
Thank you. I think really everything that's important has already been said, except for one thing. And that is, this didn't just start when Israel began to invade or began to bomb Gaza. This didn't just start when Israel invaded Lebanon. This didn't just start when Israel invaded the West Bank and Gaza and the Golan Heights. It started, and it didn't just start in 1948, when Israel ethnically cleansed over 700,000 Palestinians from their own homes and homeland, and killed many of them in the process. It started at least in 1897. And what started it was the virus and the horror that I now consider of Zionism. Zionism is the scourge of the Jewish people. It is Zionism which has created all of this. It is the Zionists who have, with their nationalism and with their rejection of all that is good within Judaism, which has created a horror in this world. Now, I came today, actually my arm had to be twisted because I have not been that well, but I had to speak out once again. I had to say what is in my heart, because I, a Jew and a former Zionist, was a committed Zionist and wanted to live my life in Israel as a supporter of Israel, to live in a kibbutz where I would live on the land of another people, not knowing and not understanding what it was about. And it took me many years to really, for the scales literally to fall off of my eyes and to see what Israel has wrought among the Palestinians and the influence that Israel now has around the world, and the power that Israel and the United States together are using to control so much of what is happening in the world. And I'd like to end by reading a poem that came to me. It was written by Lawrence Boxall, who is a anti-war activist and a member of Jews for a Just Peace in Vancouver. Lamentations. Listen, O Israel, for the dull, dim thud of your hardening heart drained of joy. Amidst dying embers of compassion for the orphans and the widows whose protruding round eyes stare from starved faces at your abundant good fortune, you offer the sulfurous fumes of arrogance as comfort. Hear, O Israel, the stunned, dull tones of the father wresting his dead baby from the cold arms of his dead wife. Your soul, O Israel, hardened, immune to the suffering stranger, chills my bloodied veins. For you forget you were once a stranger in the land of Egypt, was a reminder to take pity on the stranger. Instead, you have become as Pharaoh and his hosts, to escape the pain of the stranger that stares accusingly at you. Your young, full-bellied army tortures the stranger, even as you delight in the stranger's humiliation, and witness your cruelty with banal, calm eye, businesslike, efficient, sophisticated, consummated. My tears, O Israel, flow hot and flow cold as ice and fire dance, prance, tear through my mind, maddening to watch the soldiers of Pharaoh emblazoned with a Magen David, the Star of David, hardened like steel against the vulnerable soft flesh of your victims, all the while oblivious to the lapping sound of the waters of the Red Sea. I choke on the fear of what you have wrought, to open the flood of this sea that will consume both you and me. Hear, O Israel, all is vanity, and we are all one. Humanity is all one.
Thank you, Judith.